Hello and welcome to another exciting week of GRT Trivia Live. I'm your host James and I'm so excited to see all of you again for another half hour of fun, learning and prizes. First, I'd like to welcome back everyone who joined us for last week's show. It's great to see you all again. Thanks so much for coming. It also seems like we have a few new faces in the chat. I'm seeing a few names I don't recognize. If this is your very first GRT trivia session, let us know in the chat so I can give you a shout out because this is live. I can see everything you're saying. I had so much fun on our last show that I've been thinking about this moment literally all week. I've also been busy putting together questions. We got 10 challenging questions to really test your trivia knowledge. I hope you're all ready. Who's brand new? Kieran Taylor. I think this is your first time. I can see. Welcome to the show. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to give you a Pixel 3 XL and a Pixel stand right now. How does that sound? Just because it's your first time. Kieran, stick your full name and the name of your store in the chat so we can get in contact with you. We've just given away our first prize in less than 2 minutes. Things are going to get crazy today, so make sure you get all of your colleagues to tune in if they aren't already. We are going to give away so many prizes. Moving on though, today's theme is space. If you didn't get that from our intro, you've got it now. Our theme is space. That's right, we're building a rocket, putting on our colored shirts and blasting off into the final frontier. Whether space is your favorite topic or you can't tell the difference between an asteroid and a meteor, stick around as we have prizes to give away just for being here. Some quick housekeeping though. In order to be eligible to win prizes, you need to be registered on Google Retail Training. If you haven't registered, there's a link in the description so you can make sure you sign up after the show. You can do it after the show. If you do win a prize, we'll be announcing your name live on the stream. If you hear me say your name, please type your full name and the name of your store into chat and we'll reach out to you after the show to organize your prize delivery. Finally, make sure you stick around and fill out the quick survey at the end. It is super quick. We have bonus prizes to give to random people just for completing the survey as well. So make sure you fill it out for your chance to win. Plus, everyone who fills out the survey will also receive 150 gold to use on the GRT Rewards store. We're going to chuck this link in the chat at the very end. Ask any astronaut and they'll tell you you can't blast off into space on an empty stomach. If you didn't catch last week's show, we commandeered the I'm Feeling Lucky button from the old Google homepage. And this week we're doing it again. We're giving away lunch. Yes, we're giving away another prize without even starting the trivia. So if you're feeling hungry, go ahead and say I'm feeling hungry in the chat. We'll select one lucky winner to receive an Uber Eats voucher. You only need to type this once. Don't spam the chat. But who's feeling hungry? I tell you what, you certainly don't want to eat at a restaurant on the moon. There's no atmosphere. Yeah, I went there, I'm sorry. I won't do that again though, I'm so sorry. Wow, but we have so many hungry space cadets in the chat. It just keeps going. Everyone's so hungry. Thanks to everyone who's going. I think our Google Assistant has randomly selected someone as our lucky lunch prize, and that person is Ali Pappenberg. Congratulations, you've just won a $50 Uber Eats voucher. Put your name in and your store name in the chat, and we'll get in contact with you to organize getting you that delivery. Congratulations, Ali. All right, and it's finally time to get into some trivia. We've got 10 trivia questions today. When the time comes, I'll ask a question and it'll also appear on the screen behind me, along with 4 possible answers. The first person to correctly answer the question in the chat will receive 5 points. The second, 3 points, and the third, 1 point. You need to write out the answer, not just write A, B, C, or D. Write out the full answer. And we will only take your first answer. If at any point you feel like your stream is a little bit behind, make sure you either refresh the page or hit the live button in the video toolbar and you'll get right back up to light speed. Make sense? Let's do this. Do you remember when Pluto was suddenly no longer a planet? Yes, less than 80 years after it was first discovered, Pluto was officially downgraded to a dwarf planet. This happened in 2006 when the International Astronomical Union formally defined the term planet. 2006 was not a good year to be a small round chunk of icy rocks approximately 5 billion kilometers from Earth. Yeah. I don't know about you, but in my books, being mini doesn't make you any less of a planet. After all, Google Nest Mini definitely isn't any less of a smart home product. You like that? Good segue? Yeah. The second generation Nest Mini has 3 microphones built in, has bigger and better sound, and has an integrated wall mount, making it even easier to put in any room. Plus, the durable fabric on top is made from 100% recycled plastic bottles. That's just freaking cool. Now that I've told you the best things about Google Nest Mini, it's time for a question. And question 1 is, how many Nest Minis can one recycled 500ml plastic bottle cover? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Put your answer in the chat. How many Nest Minis can one recycled 500ml plastic bottle cover? And while you think about it, actually, it's not just the Nest Mini fabric made from recycled plastic. All of the Nest products launched last year include varying amounts of recycled plastic. So the next plastic bottle you recycle could end up as part of a Nest Mini or a Nest Hub Max. How cool is that? But the question was, how many Nest Minis can one recycled 500ml plastic bottle cover? And the answer is 2. That's right. One recycled 500ml plastic bottle can cover 2 Nest Minis. Congratulations to everyone who got that correct. I'm seeing heaps of answers come through the chat. That's amazing. And it's amazing to see how many different industries are starting to embrace recycling and reusing materials. I love that Google is integrating recycled plastic into our smart home products. It's very cool. Recycled materials aren't just being used in consumer products though. We're also launching them into space, because SpaceX's Grasshopper is a 10-story vertical takeoff, vertical landing vehicle designed to test the technologies needed to return a rocket back to Earth intact. Because while most rockets are designed to burn up on re-entry, SpaceX's rockets are designed not only to withstand re-entry, but also to return to the launch pad for a vertical landing so they can be reused for future launches. It's super cool. And in about a month's time, one of SpaceX's reusable rockets will actually be sending 2 NASA astronauts to the International Space Station. This rocket has already made numerous trips to space, delivering and returning cargo from the space station for NASA. But May's launch will be the first time it takes people up to the ISS. Question 2 is, what is the name of the SpaceX rocket scheduled to launch in May? Is it the Falcon 9? Is it the Eagle 9? Is it the Rocket 9? Or the Commodore 9? It's one of those 4. If you're not quite sure, just pick one of them. May 27 is the target launch date for sending 2 astronauts to the International Space Station, Douglas Hurley and Robert Benkin. They'll blast off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida aboard the rocket built by SpaceX and dock with the ISS about 19 hours after takeoff. So, the question was, what is the name of the SpaceX rocket scheduled to launch in May? And the answer is Falcon 9. That's right, you might have heard that term even if you're not super into SpaceX or into space at all, but the answer is Falcon 9. And fun fact, this is the first time NASA has sent astronauts to space since 2011. Let's hope neither of them have a cough. All right, have you ever wondered how many people are in space right now? I know I have. That's how I discovered how many people are in space right now.com. It's a real website which tells me there are exactly 3 people in space right now. Yes, it's a real website. It's not a Google product. It's just a cool website. But do you know what is a Google product? Google One. Yes, another flawless segue. If you watched last week's show, you'll remember that you need 69,445 floppy disks to store 100 gigabyte of data. Or you could join Google One for $2.50 per month and get 100 gigabyte of cloud storage. But did you know your friends and family can also share this storage? Using Google One's family sharing, you can allocate members of your family portions of your available storage. All they need is a Google account. Question 3 is, up to how many family members can you add to your Google One plan? Is it 2, 4, 5, or 10? Unfortunately, you can't go to how many people can you add to your GoogleOnePlan.com to answer this question. Just have to rack your brain for this one or take a good guess. The 2, 4, 5, or 10. Got about another 12 seconds to answer this one. The 2, 4, 5, or 10. The question was, how many family members can you add to your Google One plan? The answer is 5. Yes, that's right. 5 family members can join you on your $2.50 per month Google One plan, and you can choose how much storage each of them get. Want to know one thing Google One and the International Space Station have in common? They both have room for 6 people. Here you go. I wonder if the 3 astronauts currently in space are on the same Google One plan. I don't know, moving on. All right, when communicating with the ISS, NASA uses a group of 10 tracking and data relay satellites called the Space Network. Sounds futuristic. Because the ISS is orbiting the Earth at 7.66 kilometers per second, data is transmitted from a base station on Earth to one of the Space Network satellites, which is then transmitted to the ISS. Similarly, Google Nest Wi-Fi uses a base unit and then various Wi-Fi point units to keep you connected to your home internet at the fastest possible speeds. As you move around your home, Nest Wi-Fi intelligently moves your connection between different Wi-Fi points, like how NASA connects to different satellites. Of course, NASA only has to worry about one ISS, whereas Nest Wi-Fi allows you to connect many, many more devices to each Wi-Fi point in your home. So question 4 is, how many connected devices can a Nest Wi-Fi point handle? Is it 10? Is it 25? Is it 50? Or is it 100? Quick reminder while you're thinking about this one, remember if you feel like your stream is a little bit behind, make sure you hit the refresh button at the top of the page or hit live on the video toolbar. I'm gonna make sure you're right up there with us. So the question was, how many connected devices can a Nest Wi-Fi base unit or point handle? The answer is 100. 100 devices can connect to each base unit or point. After purchasing the initial base unit, users can purchase additional packs of 1, 2, or 3 Nest Wi-Fi points placed around their home to create a mesh network. Each point can support 100 connected devices, and you can even choose which devices take priority using the Google Wi-Fi app. Better still, all Nest Wi-Fi points have a Google Assistant powered speaker built in, so you'll always have someone to talk to as you drift around your house. Speaking of drifting, have you ever been out somewhere remote late at night, looked up at the sky and seen more stars than ever before? In the past, you would have needed an expensive dedicated camera to capture those moments. Now, however, Pixel 4 users have the power to do so in their pocket. Having first launched on Pixel 4, astrophotography also made its way to Pixel 3 and even Pixel 3a. And now users can take beautiful photos of the stars like this one taken by Jack Booth on the JB Hi-Fi Tribe. When shooting astrophotography, we recommend using a tripod, going to a place with minimal light pollution like out in the country, and shooting on a cloudless night. Now question 5 is, which Pixel camera feature needs to be active in order to enter astrophotography mode? Is it Super Zoom? Is it Google Lens? Is it Panorama or Night Sight? It's one of those 4. Is it Super Zoom, Lens, Panorama, and Night Sight? I can see, I think everyone's got this question right. Everyone's flying their answers through. Well done. All right, so which Pixel camera feature needs to be active in order to enter astrophotography mode? It's one of those 4, and the answer is Night Sight. Yes, that's right. You all know that anyway, of course. Well done. When activating astrophotography mode, not only do you need to be in night sight mode, you also need to be perfectly still. This is why we recommend using a tripod or leaning it against something in the area. But actually, can we get that night sight photo back up on the screen? Great, thank you. Isn't that an awesome photo? I like it so much. I'm gonna give it a prize. Jack Booth, if you're in the chat right now, say hello. If not, that's okay. We'll contact you through Tribes because you've just won yourself a Pixel 3 XL and a Pixel stand. Congratulations, Jack. It's an awesome photo, and we want to give you that reward. Well done, Jack. We are 5 questions down. We're about to cut to a quick break, but before we do, I have another Pixel 3 XL I want to give away, this time in the form of a bonus question. During the break, I want you to answer this bonus question in 25 words or less. Then we'll select our favorite answer and read it out after question 10. Now, there's no right or wrong answer. We are simply looking for your opinion. So the bonus question is, what is your go-to feature when demoing Pixel 4 to customers and why? Start typing your answers in chat and we'll be back right after these messages.
Senja's just, I think, one of the most beautiful places in the world. The landscape is incredible, and it's a landscape photographer's dream. My name's Tom Archer, and I'm a freelance venture and landscape photographer. I've shot astrophotography a lot in the past. I spent a lot of time outside at night, photographing the stars, the Milky Way, the aurora. I've been to northern Norway several times now, and I just thought it was the perfect place to come back and to test the new Google Pixel for the aurora and some night shots. Night photography is about patience. You know, the same shot can look so different throughout the night, so it's about spending time out there. The Pixel does up to 4-minute exposures, which is incredible on a phone, and at the end it comes out with a really well-balanced shot. I'm honestly blown away with the Pixel 4 and its capabilities at night, and it's just incredible that it can capture these kind of shots. This was completely unreachable before unless you had fully professional, very expensive gear. I love being in the middle of nowhere with my camera. I love being out completely isolated, getting away from it all. It just gives me time to reset and do something I'm really passionate about.
Welcome back to GRT Trivia Live, the only quiz show where the host may or may not have a jar of Nutella just off screen. I hope you can't see that. Anyway, once again, I'm your host, James, and we are currently 5 questions deep. If you've recently joined us, I'm asking trivia questions and giving away prizes. In order to win, you need to be registered on GRT. If you aren't, make sure you're registered by the end of today. Otherwise, you won't be able to claim your prize. Don't forget, if you feel your stream is running a little bit behind, you can either hit refresh or click live in the video toolbar. Is everyone having a good time so far? Let me know if you're having fun in the chat. I want to feel the excitement. We've got over 150 people in the audience today. The chat is looking super lively. The more people we get in this chat, the more prizes I can give away. I can see you guys are already having so much fun. Who's having the most fun though? Ooh, I've got some flashy dancers there. Jess Thomas, you look like you're having a good time. How about we make it an even better time by giving you a Chromecast? Yeah? Congratulations, Jess Thomas. You've just won yourself a Chromecast. Put your full name in the chat along with your store and we'll send you your prize. Well done, Jess. Okay, let's get into it. Well, actually, no, we won't get into it yet because before we jump into question 6, I think we need to take a look at the current standing on the leaderboard. Can we throw that up on the screen behind me? Right now in first place on 10 points, we have Hannah Louise. Congratulations, Hannah. You're currently leading us. Right behind her with 2 points is just 2 points behind with 8 points is Mickey Thorne. And in third place, we currently have a tie, I believe. Yes, with Walsam and Art with Ack with just 5 points, just 3 points behind. It is super close. What an exciting first half we've had, but it's definitely not over yet. There's still plenty of room for upsets and dark horses. Of course, we're giving away up to 5 points per question, so this leaderboard could completely change. And even if you're joining us just now, keep answering those questions because you could still win this by the end of the show. Let's crack back into some GRT trivia though. And one of Google's most popular hardware products is the Chromecast. The Chromecast we just gave away. I've been using mine so much lately in my efforts to stave off boredom. There are so many streaming apps that are cast compatible. I've got so much choice when it comes to movies. It's awesome. But did you know that astronauts on the ISS can also request just about any TV show or movie that's available on Earth to be sent up to watch? They even have a 65-inch TV up there. And Drew Fustel, he's an astronaut on board the ISS in 2018, was able to completely keep up to date with Game of Thrones while orbiting the Earth at 27,000 kilometers per hour. Thankfully, he was back on Earth by the time season 8 came out. You wouldn't want to be stuck on a space station with a fan after that ending. While it's not clear whether astronauts use Chromecast on the ISS, you at home can definitely use Chromecast and Chromecast Ultra to stream just about anything to your phone or from your phone, tablet or computer to your TV. So question 6 is, it's a true or false? The only difference between Chromecast and Chromecast Ultra is 4K streaming. True or false? The only difference between Chromecast and Chromecast Ultra is 4K streaming. But what do you think they're watching up there right now? A horror movie? Do you think anyone's actually watched Alien while on board? I have not. Weird, creepy. But so the question was, it's true or false? Really simple, easy one. The only difference between Chromecast and Chromecast Ultra is being able to stream 4K content using the Chromecast Ultra. Is that true or false? All right, and the answer is false. Yeah, it's false. Not only does Chromecast allow you to stream 4K HDR content, it also includes a built-in Ethernet adapter and a faster processor. These great hardware additions make it a must-have for anyone with a 4K TV. So it's false. There's a few differences there. Now, when you're spending a lot of time in space, entertainment would have to be crucial. NASA astronauts typically spend roughly 6 months at a time on the ISS, 6 months in space. The record, though, for the longest single space stint in human history is held by a man named Valery Polyakov. In 1994, the Russian cosmonaut was in space for a total of 437 days, 18 hours, and 58 minutes. Imagine spending 437 days in space. That's insane. I'm having trouble spending a few weeks inside as it is. But if Valery had had a Pixel 4, I have no doubt he would have been taking the most amazing astrophotography shots and posting them on Tribe, of course. But would he have been receiving monthly updates the whole time? Question 7 is, how many years of OS and security updates are guaranteed with every Pixel device? Is it 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years? So Valery Polyakov spent 437 days in space on board the Mir space station doing experiments, scientific research. Valery holds the record for the most time one person has continually spent in space, but the most time one person has been in space across multiple missions is actually almost 2.5 years. But the question was, how many years of OS and security updates are guaranteed with every Pixel device? The answer is 3 years. 3 years. 3 years worth of security updates isn't always the first thing we talk about when showing Pixel to customers, but it's an incredibly valuable feature to mention because you want your phone to be kept up to date the whole time you're using it, right? And really 3 years isn't even that long, especially when you're talking about space. American President John F. Kennedy first announced the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth in 1961. But of course, the moon landing didn't happen until 8 years later in 1969. When that Apollo 11 mission, that was Neil Armstrong's mission, first landed on the moon in 1969, the Apollo guidance computer was a crucial piece of hardware. It provided computation and electronic interfaces for guidance, navigation, and control of the spacecraft. Its processing speed was an incredible 0.043 megahertz. For comparison, the Pixel 4 has a 2.84 gigahertz processor, or 2,840 megahertz. That's 0.043 megahertz on the Apollo 11 guidance computer, 2,840 megahertz on a Pixel 4. Are we ready for some quick maths? Because question 8 is, how many Apollo guidance computers would you need to match the processing power of a Pixel 4? Is it 14,504? Is it 37,452? Is it 66,047? Or is it 81,333? It is one of those 4. I hope you guys can type it quickly because I can't say it quickly at all. It's one of those 4. If you're not sure, just pick one of them. It's got to be one of those. And how many Apollo guidance computers would you need to match the processing power of a Pixel 4? And the answer is 66,047. That's crazy. I'm no scientist, but I think that means we could use one Pixel to land missions on the moon 66,000 times. Wild. So, the Apollo 11 mission took place in 1969, but certainly wasn't the last of the Apollo missions. You might also know the Apollo 13 mission and the 1995 film by the same name starring Tom Hanks. It's where that classic line came from, "Houston, we have a problem." It was originally said by real-life astronaut John Swigert and then immortalized by Tom Hanks in the film adaptation. Spoiler alert, actually, Mission Control was able to help the crew fix the problem and everyone landed safely back on Earth. But like Tom Hanks and other astronauts have Mission Control, Google One users have Google Experts. Google experts are given dedicated training to help answer any and all user questions about Google products and services. Whether you need to recover a file you accidentally deleted or want to learn how to use Gmail when you're offline, a Google expert is ready to help 24/7. So, question 9 is, how much extra does the Google Experts feature cost on top of your Google One subscription? Is it $2 per month? Is it $1 per inquiry? Is it $5 for unlimited? Or is it included? Google Experts are an incredibly valuable resource for customers and for you in store. You no longer have to worry about trying to help customers with those tricky Google questions. Just tell them about Google One and Google Experts, available to help them with anything Google 24/7. The question was, how much extra does the Google Experts feature cost on top of your Google One subscription? The answer is, it's included. Bit of a trick one there. I saw a whole lot of people get it right anyway though, well done. It's included, it's even included in the entry-level $2 per 50-month plan. So, if you've been keeping track, you'll know we're finally up to question 10, our final question. Now, if you were with us last week, you remember that people were answering this one before I even got to answer the question. Not this time. I'm gonna make it much, much more difficult. Unless you know a lot about Project Loon. But what is Project Loon, you might be asking? Well, Loon is a subsidiary of Alphabet Inc., Google's parent company. Their mission is to connect people everywhere. Loon is a network of balloons traveling on the edge of space, designed to deliver connectivity to the billions of people around the world who are still without internet access. Essentially, each balloon works like a mobile phone tower that's so high up in the sky that it has a huge range of coverage. It's a super cool project that I hope you all know nothing about, to make this final question a really tough one. Because I mentioned the balloons travel on the edge of space. They float around in just one of the layers of the Earth's atmosphere. Question 10 is, which atmospheric layer do Project Loon balloons float in? Is it the thermosphere? Is it the mesosphere? The stratosphere? Or the troposphere? Now, I didn't tell you this answer. If you happen to know it, well done. And it looks like a whole lot of people happen to know it, so I need to make next week's question 10 more tough, because you guys are just too smart for me. Look, if you have no idea, and I had no idea before researching this question, just pick one of the 4. There's a 25% chance you'll get it right anyway. If you're really not sure, just pick the one you can type the fastest. But the question was, what atmospheric layer do Loon's balloons float in? And the answer is the stratosphere. You got so many people got that correctly. Well done. But what a question to end with. A huge thank you to everybody for all your rapid answers. There's some incredibly fast fingers in the chat today. Now, if you just had no idea with that last one, don't fret. We've queued up a great video that perfectly explains just how cool Project Loon is. We're gonna roll it for you now while we tally the final scores, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our top 3 winners, as well as our bonus prize winner right after this.
While many of us take the internet for granted, large parts of the world are still unconnected. In big towns and cities, providing connectivity with cell towers is economical, as there are lots of people there wanting to connect. But the further away from these towns and cities you go, the fewer people there are, until eventually, connectivity just stops. To bring the internet to people in these areas, we need to look up. Way up, into the stratosphere. From here, we can provide connectivity across much larger areas, bringing the benefits of the internet to more people. So how do we get there? With balloons. Really big balloons. Beginning their journey from one of our custom-built balloon launchers, our balloons are filled with lighter-than-air gas and released up into the skies. Rising 20 kilometers into the stratosphere, Loon balloons float twice as high as airplanes, well above weather and wildlife. To get to where they need to go, Loon balloons sail the winds by moving up or down into different wind currents traveling in different directions, joining other balloons in small teams over areas where connectivity is needed. Ground stations connected to local internet service providers send signal up to the balloons and then back down to the ground over large distances, allowing people to connect directly to the internet with an LTE mobile phone. When it is eventually time for our balloons to come down, we navigate them to remote areas and work with local air traffic control to manage their slow descent down to Earth, where they're collected by our recovery teams. By repeating this process at scale, we hope to provide continued connectivity to users on the ground, bringing the internet to more people in more places around the world.
Welcome back. What an episode. I've had fun. Have you had fun? I hope you guys have had fun. And you've learned something today as well about Project Loon or any of our Google stuff as well, of course. Before we announce our trivia winners, I'm going to announce the winner of our bonus question. Because before the first break, I asked you, what is your go-to feature when demoing Pixel 4 to customers and why? Well, our favorite answer today came from, who is it? Reese Whittingslow. He said, I will always show night sight. No other phone camera gets close to the quality of Pixel 4. Just comparing two photos, one a fruit type and then a Pixel 4. People are always amazed. Night sight is one of my favorite features as well, Reese, and you've got a great way of explaining to customers. Congratulations, you've won yourself a Pixel 3 XL and a Pixel stand. Post your name and what store you're from in the chat, and we'll contact you via the information you've entered on GRT. All right, and now it is the moment you've all been waiting for. Time to announce the winners of this week's GRT Trivia Live. Coming in third place, congratulations to Mickey Thorne. You've won yourself a Nest Hub Max. Congratulations, Mickey. Second place goes to Art with Ack. Congratulations, you've won yourself a Nest Hub Max and a Google Chromecast. And coming in first place, congratulations to Hannah Louise. You've won yourself a Google Nest Hub Max, a Google Chromecast, and a LiFX Smart Bulb. Congratulations to all of our winners. Please make sure you put your name and the name of your store in the chat. We'll contact you via the information you put into GRT. There might be some small delays getting you prizes given the situation, but we'll make sure you receive your prizes ASAP. So, this has been episode 2 of GRT Trivia Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had so much fun playing. I had so much fun hosting. We're now putting a link to the GRT survey into the chat. Once we're done here, please click that link and fill out the brief survey. Doing so will get you 150 gold for the GRT reward store. Don't worry, I'm 99% sure the survey will work this time. Also, make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel. Not only do we play trivia every week, but there's lots of other cool stuff as well. If you haven't already, don't forget to sign up to GRT, Google Retail Training, and get verified. We're hosting learning live sessions where you can join training sessions with Googlers and learn about products and features. Head to GRT for all the information you need on those. If you're not sure about GRT, we'll make sure we get a link to join GRT in the chat as well. Finally, tune in next Friday at 1 p.m. for episode 3 of GRT Trivia Live. New questions, even more prizes to give away, and heaps more fun. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend and see you next week.